Now that we're done with split toning, I need you to come over and click on the lens correction tab. This thing I think is really, really important. We have profile and manual. Click on the enable profile corrections checkbox, and then under setup, you can come down here and choose auto, whatever. All I want you to do is come down to the lens profile and choose your manufacturer. There are many. From there, choose the lens model, and if yours is not here, then find one that's close enough, and then choose the specific profile for that. This is the specific profile for that. The names are identical, because that's how you identify them. But if I had created this profile myself, I'd probably just call it John's Nikon 24. Now, we have some other things that you can play around with, which is your correction amount and if you have any default vignetting. I don't have any default vignetting, but you may. And if you do, then you can use this slider to correct for that. If you have the vignetting, which is the darkening of the corners, then you can come over here and choose to lighten things. Notice how my corners got lighter. And if you want to go for that darkening effect, then you can just darken. But notice that this is not really an effect. This is more compensation for your lenses. So I'm just going to put this in the center at 100. And the distortion, I'm just going to go here and show you that. Pop it out, push it in, pop it out, push it in, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to leave those alone. I believe that the choices I have sitting in here are doing a fine job. Remove chromatic aberration. That is something that you might want to have turned on based on the quality of the lenses and based on the scene subject matter you're photographing. Chromatic aberration happens when the lens cannot focus the red, green, and blue light at the same spot on your sensor, and it happens at high contrast areas. Have it try to do that automatically. Everything is absolutely fantastic. If you don't like any of the profiles or you can't find them in here, you can go online and do a search for Adobe Lens Profile Creator. It's a free software. They give you the targets. You got to go out and get them printed up. You have to read all the documentation, and you photograph your own lens or your targets with your lens, and then you create your own personal profile if you don't like what's going on in here. The other way is you can play around with your distortion slider to do your barrel distortion, pin cushion, change the vertical this way or that way. That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. And this one goes the opposite, so boof, done. I don't think so, but I just have to show you how this stuff works. I'm going to push it one way, or we can push it the other way. So it looks like we're looking around a corner. I don't know about that either. Rotate and scale. It's all there. Here's your lens vignetting. Oh, isn't this fun? I want to add lens vignetting. So I'm going to come in here and do that. And then I'm going to either increase or decrease the amount of light in the center, pushing your vignetting out or sucking it into the vortex of your image, whatever. I don't bother with that. If I do, I'll do it in another tab. Defringing, highlight edges, all edges, again, I don't use them. I would only suggest that you try and see what the effects are with your individual lenses. I don't come into the manual tab at all. One of the benefits of buying the higher quality lenses that the manufacturers put out is they have less defects that need to be corrected. There's not much going on in this thing at all. Just, go in, take a look at it, see what it can do for your images. Just make sure that your stuff is selected in here, and then we can move on. Just like some of the previous tabs, there's not a lot going on in there, but I need to show you what they are, just so you know how to use them.